Hey everybody, it's Dr. Sam Robbins, and today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of eating eggs, the health benefits and the warnings, and you'll discover basically who should avoid eating eggs, the difference between the yolk and the white, and how many eggs you should consume daily, what type of eggs are best, and also how to cook the eggs for proper absorption, nutrient value, and all that stuff. Now, personally, I really like eggs. In fact, when I was growing up, my dad would make me omelets on the weekends. He would use, butter and a few whole eggs and a bunch of vegetables like mushrooms and peppers. And sometimes he'd even cut me up like little hot dog slices in there and throw it all into the pan. And I still remember how good the kitchen smelled and how good and great the food tasted. Then I started bodybuilding and well, things changed. There was no more egg yolks, okay? All the big guys back then were eating only egg whites, which by the way, can taste disgusting after a while. Now, later I find out that eating only egg whites isn't good for your health. Now, even though all the calories and fat are in the yolks, so are all the nutrients and half the amino acids. Plus, having only egg whites can cause a biotin deficiency and cause stomach problems as well. So, no more egg whites for me. Of course, then I find out how eating whole eggs is bad for you as well because it can raise cholesterol levels and thus can cause a heart attack or stroke. So it was all so confusing that I just stopped eating eggs altogether for a few years. So basically add eggs to the long list of foods that are going to quote unquote kill you, right? It's like you can't eat anything these days. But over time, research revealed that whole eggs actually do not cause cholesterol problems for the majority of people. The cholesterol from the foods you eat does not raise blood cholesterol. In fact, the majority of the cholesterol that you have in your blood is formed within your body by the liver, not by the foods we eat. And this is because every cell in your body needs cholesterol, and thus it will make its own in order to live and survive. Also, cholesterol makes your hormones, which are vital for your health, your fitness, and longevity. The yolk does contain some saturated fats, which can be problematic in high amounts, but more of the fat in the yolk is actually from unsaturated fats, both mono and polyunsaturated fats, which can help actually reduce your risk for heart disease. So if you're worried about the cholesterol and saturated fats found in the yolks, for 95% of the people, it won't make any difference in your blood tests or, raising your cholesterol levels and so forth. Now, there are other reasons for having high cholesterol on blood tests. It's not the eggs. Now, I put a link below in the description area for my favorite cholesterol fix formula that my parents have been using for over 20 years. So make sure you take a look at the end of this video. Of course, I'm not telling you to go fry a bunch of eggs daily and dump some cheese on them and add in some bacon and eat it all with croissants or muffins or a bunch of bread and wash it down with a big glass of orange juice. As tasty as that sounds, it's not going to be healthy for you and it's a lot of calories. Now, one problem though with eggs is that they are one of the most common food allergens, especially in children. And like I said earlier, the whites can be very problematic too. In fact, I had a big bodybuilder friend of mine have a dozen egg whites daily, which only is about 35 grams of protein. But when I told him to stop, all his stomach problems disappeared. Now, like I said earlier, the egg is like the perfect protein food. There are lots of nutrients in eggs, especially the yolk. Now, whole eggs, primarily because of the yolk, are high in vitamins B12, B2, A, and E, and also has choline, lutein, xanthine, selenium, and phosphorus, all of which are good for your body, your muscles, your eyes, and especially the brain. Now, the cholesterol in the eggs also tends to boost your testosterone levels a little bit and other hormones, which is, again, good for muscles and sex drive and longevity. Now, the questions are, how many eggs should you have daily? I think about 2 a day is good for most people. Some can take a little bit more and some a little bit less. Now, what are the best types of eggs? Now, there's a myth between brown eggs are healthier than whites, which is what I used to think, but there's actually no difference between the brown and white. Ideally, you want the yolk to be dark, rich yellow, not pale. But unfortunately, these days, the type of food and the additives that they give to chicken can artificially change the color of the yolk. So that's not always the good indicator anymore. Ideally, you want organic, pasture-raised eggs. They do cost a little more, but they are healthier. Now, how should you cook your eggs? Basically, have the yolk a little bit runny, helps preserve more of the nutrients, and is better for you. Make sure the white is cooked thorough, of course. So ideally, maybe sunny side up or soft boiled egg would be ideal. The best is obviously to not fry your eggs with oil and butter for no other reason. It's just a lot more added calories that none of us need. So there you have it. Let me give you a quick summary. The whole egg is a perfect protein, all the amino acids in the yolk and the white. It's a good source of nutrients and vitamins. If you want to have a lot more egg whites, at least throw in like 2 whole eggs into the meal to improve the nutritional value. For 95% of people, eating whole eggs isn't going to cause any cholesterol problems. There are other reasons for high cholesterol, and that has to do with aging and the negative changes in your hormones and other processed foods that you eat. I put a direct link below in the description area for my parents' cholesterol fix formula if you're interested in having healthy cholesterol levels naturally. There is no difference between the brown or white eggs, but it is best to get organic pasture-raised eggs. Also, I think about 2 eggs daily is good for most people, preferably cooked, sunny side up, or soft boiled so that the yolk is a little runny. Also, be mindful that eggs are allergens, especially the white. They're high allergen food. So if you notice, you're having skin problems or digestive problems, for example, get off eggs for a couple months and see how you feel. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you aren't already, and leave some questions or in the comment section. Let me know what I can do for next video. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I wish you a very happy and healthy day.